Welcome back to F1 My Team Career Mode. This is episode number 5 at the Miami Grand Prix. Last episode, if you haven't watched it, I recommend you definitely go and watch that one before continuing with this one. But it was probably the best race result we'll have in a while. As I won't spoil it for you, you watch it now, mate. And this is something I don't normally do in my videos until the end, but I would recommend to like and subscribe for more content like this. I mean, I play other games as well, Subnautica, if you've ever heard of that game. I also have some footage and content on FIFA on the way. Pro clubs, none of that Ultimate Team shite. I might skip
We're
on
in a
the...
position now where we're able to attract a new sponsor to the team. Head on over to the corporate tab and select the sponsor screen to choose who we should approach.
Qualify P10 or better. Oh. See, now this one I can definitely do. And therefore we are gonna go with it. Alright. So let's head into the race weekend. We're not gonna do this. I don't have time. It's 6 p.m. almost, and I wanna just get on with the video. Oh no, rain affected race. Okay, not good news. See you after first practice. Okay, notes after first practice over here. Sector 1, not my strongest. And then the ending of Sector 2 at the Mickey Mouse chicane. Honestly, probably the worst part of the track. They should really fix that. But yeah, it's both those two areas are not my favorite. After that one session of practice, quali time. Let us have a crack at it. As usual, we'll have our reviews after every timed lap. So yeah, let's go. I don't have time. Let me see the setup I was using. It's probably a high-speed setup, which I am not accustomed to yet. Balanced. That's why I've been losing a lot of time at the hairpins and the slow corners. It's not easy for me. So I'll keep it at balanced. And I do feel confident that we can make the most out of that setup.
Pushing too hard, it's causing your gearbox to take increased wear.
Alright, that wasn't a really quick qualifying session. Unfortunately, I forgot to switch out the parts. And my stupidity got to me. But let's review quali Q1's times. I mean, both of us are at the back of the grid, and we have no timed lap. I don't know what happened and why the lap times are very different, but no, not very different, but the gap between first and last is huge. Like, I knew I had to switch out some parts, but I forgot. So yeah, now we're gonna have a race starting from last place. For the first time, I could say that I got out qualified by everyone on the grid, and we're out in Q1. So for the stupidest reason ever as well, it's time for the race, starting from last. I mean, these mistakes shouldn't be happening. It's unbelievable how demented I am. Oh my days. Race time. Starting from last again. Yes.
Welcome to the Miami International Autodrome, home of the Miami Grand Prix. This exciting track circumnavigates the Hard Rock Stadium, home to the National Football League outfit, the Miami Dolphins. Well, it's certainly not sunny here in the Sunshine State. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 19 corners and 3.36 miles of track around the Hard Rock Stadium. But these conditions should prove especially difficult for all of our drivers today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Ocon, Tsunoda, Bottas, Magnussen, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Hulkenberg, De Vries, Gasly, Stroll, Joe, Hauger, Sargent, and the owner driver rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Joining me on this very wet day is a man who's no stranger to driving in miserable conditions. Anthony Davidson, you've driven open cockpit, you've driven sports cars. How does the wet weather experience change between the different disciplines?
Well, I wouldn't say there's much difference in all honesty. You know, besides the terrifying closing speeds you find in something like sports cars with different categories all sharing the same racetrack, driving in the rain is, well, driving in the rain. Of course, the biggest difference is the fact that Formula One is open cockpit. On one hand, they'll be cold and wet without a roof, but on the other, it's much simpler to pull a tear-off away from the visor than it is to clear a dirty windscreen. So I don't think it's too bad.
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
All right, we start our formation lap. Making no stops, as this is a rain affected race. But yeah, again,
Okay, so let's go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure we're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs.
okay, yeah, so I was just waiting for Mark to finish talking over there. But yeah, it's just a stupid move from us. I mean, I forgot, but at the same time, stuff like that shouldn't be happening, like I said previously, with me forgetting to change out worn out parts before qualifying. So yeah, I might sound a bit ill. I'm not, don't worry, but it's just I've been barely talking today because I woke up only like 3 hours ago and I barely did any talking. So my voice is still deep, so I still got that morning voice, but we get a purple parking, which is good. And this video, by the way, took way too long, even though there's literally nothing about it, as we have 5 red lights for the Miami Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go, as we are all the way at the back, so we don't really have much to say as Verstappen and Perez go into turn 1. Who comes out ahead, I can't really tell, but I'm looking at the timing sheets as we make it all the way up to P17 right at the first corner, as now we are trying to settle in for what should be a very long and overtaking type race for us, as we're trying to make our way back to the points, as right now De Vries ahead of us with Magnussen behind in the Haas. As right now we're in the slipstream, definitely using ERS, trying to get around De Vries. We're going around the outside. No, we're staying behind him in the slipstream as we take the inside line and we lunge straight alongside Albon, as we now are in P15. Albon side by side all the way around this Mickey Mouse shaped corner, as we now have the inside line into this chicane, which I really hate, as it bothers me and slows my pace down. As you can see, Gasly already pulling ahead, as now we are on the long straight trying to catch up to Pierre Gasly, but there are yellow flags momentarily over there for something, I think because the cars are too close to each other or something like that. But yeah, right now we're just trying to keep up our pace and catch up to Pierre Gasly, as we do manage to close the gap entirely to Pierre Gasly, as right now we start the second lap of the race, and we're going to be looking for a move down into turn 1 as we make a late lunge down the inside and make it stick. No contact over there. Very clean racing from us, as Leclerc passes Sergio Perez for second place over there, if you were looking at the timing sheets, as right now we have Oscar Piastri ahead of us We are now on the long back straight as we try to make a move down the inside without overshooting and hitting the back of Nico Hülkenberg, as Oscar Piastri tries to hang around the outside but isn't able to do so, as we have a faster car than the McLaren, especially around the corners. Now we have Hülkenberg in front of us at the end of lap 3. Hopefully we can make a move down into turn 1 over here. But he is too far ahead for us to be thinking about a late lunge into turn 1. So we wait until we reach the long back straight. Once again, with ERS enabled, we are in his slipstream and we are closing in fast as we try to make a move around the outside, but we lose some speed as now we take back the inside line and brake early, but not too hard, so we can actually have some pace going into the corner and take 12th place from Nico Hülkenberg, as now we are in lap 4 as the track is drying, according to Mark, as he is speaking to us right now, as we have Tsunoda ahead of us with the slipstream. We're trying to catch him. We're gonna make a late move into whatever that corner number is. I don't really care. I hate this track. I don't like it as much. It's not the best track I've driven at. Either way, it was a great move from us, as we now have Bottas to hunt in turn 10. We couldn't make the corner over there, so we cut. FIA not happy with that. But yeah, looking for a move down into turn the final corner, sorry, as right now we have Bottas ahead of us, very close, as we now head into lap 5 with Bottas still ahead of us, as we're going to be making a move down the inside, and we overshoot a little bit over here, and Bottas tries to get the switchback done, as we are now side by side, but he had to yield as we shut the door on him and take 10th place. And right now, lap 8, we have Lando Norris at 3.8 seconds ahead of us, our rival Esteban Ocon right ahead of him, but we are not able to even close the gap, as the gap is even growing. It's growing wider and wider. Is that the word? Yeah, I don't know, man. English not my best, but yeah, we head into the pits as the tires, we are ready to take in slicks, put on some slicks, sorry, as the track is dry enough for us to be able to drive on it with slicks, as we now enter our pit box. A good stop from the pit crew, 2.4 seconds. Is that correct?
Look after these tyres now.
I couldn't tell, but I'm pretty sure. I had a stopwatch in my hand. I timed it. Yeah, 2.4 seconds. Very good pit stop from the team, as we are now trying to warm up our tires, as the track is still a bit damp, but you know, it's still good for intermediate. I mean, what's it called? Slick conditions, as we skip straight to lap 19. And yeah, still stuck in P10. Same two drivers in front of us after all the pit stops happened. Like, honestly, it would have been more of an interesting race, I would say, if I had remembered to change the worn out parts from the car. As right now we are just on the last lap, you know, let's just take you through a lap on our car, as we are now on the long back straight. I mean, no one in front of us for us to even have a chance at DRS, so we're just gonna be driving like normal, as if it's just us trying to catch to Esteban Ocon, who's 8 seconds ahead. No chance of us catching up to him, as Max Verstappen rounds the final corner, as we are still on the back straight, and he comes home to take first place at the Miami Grand Prix. Sergio Perez right behind him in second place, as right now we just start our run down to the final corner on this long straight. Probably the only part of the track that I like, since we have probably the best engine on the grid by now. As right now we we round the final corner. Sorry, but I'm sounding very dull today, but I haven't been doing anything. Anyway, we crossed the line to take 10th place. A good recovery from us,
And that's the end of the race.
as
We'll see you
we
in part
are
four.
in the points for the 5th race in a row, and we take driver of the day for all the overtakes we performed in the early part of the
Here we
race.
are then, a phenomenal Miami Grand Prix, and what a great show of skill from our race winners today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams. Let's see how the driver's standings have changed. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One, so be sure to join us for the next one.
So normally I would say what a race from us, from last on the grid. But then again, I started on last because of a mistake from myself, as I forgot to switch out. I am not too upset with how the race turned out, as we finished in the points, which is, as always, very important. Behind Aston Martin, we were ahead of them before the what's it called again, before the Miami Grand Prix, and now we dropped behind because of my stupidity. And yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of My Team Career Mode. Please leave a like, subscribe, turn on your notification bells, and follow me on Instagram. Yeah, thanks guys for watching.